and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. Hello everyone, in this video we're going to prove that England was under Templar occupation for hundreds of years. In addition, Spain may have been under Templar occupation for hundreds of years. Genoa, Milan, North Italy, the Lombard areas may have been under Templar occupation, including the Holy Roman Empire seems to have been a Templar-run secret state. And this starts to explain a lot of things. And you know how they say the history is written by the victors? Well, in that case, how come we have such sympathy for the Templars being executed by the French king? I thought history was written by the victors. Or maybe it is. Maybe the French were actually throwing off Templar occupation in 1306, Friday the 13th. I mean, and I'm going to prove that in this video because we got something very, very spookily weird going on. Very spookily weird. Now, in the last video, we looked at an old map, and it seemed to have been a political map from the 1500s. Now, we don't have political maps from the 1500s, so this map was just absolutely, it was a sensation to look at. And this is what a viewer of the page showed me. And what we appear to see here is well, I'll show you what I see here. I see an independent Ireland. I see France, Holy Roman Empire, the Low Countries, and I see a big Templar flag here in Genoa, Milan, whatever it is. Here in England, Templar flag. And it's surely a Templar flag because it was only brought to England with the Crusades, and the Templars were running the Crusades. And of course we see this yellow here, this yellow, bit of Norway too, maybe a bit of Hanseatic League, maybe the Hanseatics are mixed with the Templars. And so I was thinking to myself, England was under Templar occupation. England was a Templar colony run by perhaps the City of London, and I can prove this because when I was in London, I noticed that Temple Church is so close to Lombard Street. Well, it's sort of in the same sector as Lombard Street, and it's in the legal area. It's in the economic area. So we go to, say, Lombard Street in London. So this is where all the bankers used to live, and this is what the centre of the City of London looks like. And this was basically the Roman town. And so here's Lombard Street. It's just, London it is beautiful to walk around the centre of London. So as you see, this is what Lombard Street looks like. Nice, lovely old banking buildings. Just beautiful. It's beautiful to walk around here. Many European capitals look like this in the centre. Just a beautiful little lane where the money changers used to live. And we go back to the map. I want to see the map. And kilometre or so away, not too far, there's the Lombard Street. We go, and this whole area is known as Bank. The train station is Bank, right? This is the old banking place. Lombard Street Securities, Canada Life Investments, Lord Mayor of London's residence, see right next to the Lombards. You see who was running the place in history? This was under occupation by the money people. By the people who, according to this map over here, the Lombards of North Italy, we're a Templar state, part of the Templar Empire, and we can, and then I remember I was walking around London, and I went over to just over here. I stayed at this youth hostel here, St Paul's, beautiful. That's the place to stay if you want London on the cheap. Just stay there. It's a beautiful old building, and you can see everything in the centre. But I went to Temple Church, and right over here is Temple Church. You see. And there's Temple Church with that nice round structure. They're copying what they thought was the Temple of Solomon, which was the Al-Aqsa Mosque or something these days. And that's Temple Church. And near Temple Church, look at all the buildings you have. You have the goldsmith chambers. You have so these are legal areas. So we have. And then we have like economic areas as well. So these are it's in the legal area, court chambers. So if it's in the legal area, what does that show you? The lawmakers of England, of London, were worshipping at Temple Church. And now this so-called St. George's Cross comes into play, because we wouldn't want anyone to know it was actually the Templar flag, would we, that England's under Templar occupation, but I think it was. And I believe this was in exchange for the Templars removing, they were replacing the papal occupation of England back in the day. And look, there's so much here. There's London School of Economics and Politics. It's all here. And when I was walking around here, I was thinking, oh, the Strand, the beautiful area in the middle. There was an old Danish church there. But the main church in this economic area is not St. Paul's or anything. It's Temple Church. And so I was thinking, damn, this is absolutely amazing. And this shows who was in power, who controlled, at least if they didn't control England, they controlled London. And you know, London has always had a separate constitution from England, as if it was a different country. So who ran this country? Well, who else? It must be a colony of someone. It must be a colony of the Templars. Now, in 1213, King John sold England to the Pope. It's a little known fact, but you know, David Icke talked about it. I actually did my PhD on this fact, and I discovered things that historians don't know about England. England was under occupation by what they call Romans, or the people from Rome who were run by the Pope as a result of this. And you never saw where this occupation ended. It just sort of faded away. Or was it replaced by a Templar occupation of England? And is this where the St. George flag comes from? I'm becoming convinced of this. And that political map, that's what I couldn't work out. It was something funny that was nagging at me, so I couldn't sleep and I saw this map. And you see, because it's done from the English perspective rather than the Spanish or the Portuguese perspective, you start to see political areas. So I'm wondering if the West Indies, the English were claiming. It looks like the English were claiming that, possibly, or that's a Portuguese flag there or something. But they were claimed islands here. They claimed the USA. They planted a nice big fat Templar flag in the USA right there. It's a little bit hard to see. Let's look at a better map. Let me see now. There we go. Look at that, Virginia. So we know Commonwealth of Virginia and all that, but there's a nice Templar flag. I guess it reaches up to Oak Island, doesn't it? Canada. This was under is an England under Templar occupation, is what I'm starting to see, based on the geography of the layout of London, based on this political map. This is getting extraordinary, guys. I'm a bit scared again. I must say, this is it's a bit creepy. What do you think of that? I believe Genoa, Spain, England were all under Templar suzerainty, and were being run by the Templars long after the Templars were extinguished. And here we go. This is the thing about France. Was Louis and Pope Clement, the anti-pope, actually throwing off Templar occupation when they threw the Templars out? The Templars went to Spain, they went to England, they went to Italy, because was this like a revolution against the Templars? Like we say, oh, the evil Pope and the evil French king throwing off the Templars in 1306. Were they actually rebelling against the Templars, trying to get their freedom back? Because that's what that map seems to show to me. And it looks like the rest of Europe remained under Templar control. I'm shocked. Thank you. Now, do you know what? I've written a couple books. One of them is probably the best ancient astronauts, one of the best ancient astronauts books ever written. It's called Confessions of the Gods. Check it out, Kindle or paperback on Amazon. And also a Pyramids book. The Pyramids book is basically, well, it's 137 photos of sites you can visit in Europe, which are prototypes of pyramids. That's an amazing book. It's much deeper reading than the other book, Confessions, but check them out on Kindle and paperback. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. And also hit me up on Patreon. Cheers. Bye-bye.